and welcome to Motors Television's coverage of World Rally France. It's round 11 of the WRC and it takes us to the Alsace region, Sébastien Loeb's home region, to the historic city of Strasbourg. 2010 was the first running of the rally in a WRC in this region. It really did bring some spectacular action, including big moments for Kimi Räikkönen and Ken Block. Podium for Petter Solberg, and perhaps unsurprisingly, victory for Sébastien Loeb on tarmac in his home region. Well, this part of France is actually nearer the capital of Germany than it is to France. Here, Paris is some 488 kilometers to the west of Strasbourg, but only 150 k's the other way, and you'll be in Stuttgart. 3 days and 23 stages, and on shakedown it was perhaps
the great
expected to see
stages that vary quite differently from the vineyards to very beautiful, like sort of mountain style roads.
Like some sections are hell of a fast, but it's not that boring. It's turning all the time a little bit, so a lot of action going on over there.
It reminds a little bit from Germany some places, but then it also reminds from Monte Carlo. But generally, it's I think it's quite flowing. You have a quite flowing roads over here. The very difficult character here is that if it rains, it turns out to be really, really muddy, and it comes extremely slippy. It makes it really stressful to drive.
Drama for Ogier, one of many moments we saw in 2010, including this big rodeo moment. Hell of a gymkhana for Ken Block, that one.
The roads were completely destroyed because of the mud we were bringing on the road with the cuts. But this year they put some poles in nearly every corner, so we cannot cut. So even if it's raining, it will not be the same as it was last year.
Every corner we cut it last year, there's now steel posts, so as long as it stays consistent and they stay there all the time, you know, we can't really cut that much, and it's definitely going to be a lot cleaner than last year.
It is. We have to adapt to all the condition in rally, and sometimes yeah, you have to take notes with that, and it's the same for everybody. For sure, sometimes it's not like natural driving, natural line because of these poles, but in one way it's better because the road will stay more clean. Some places, if you cut, you can go over them and they can just bend. But okay, you never know if it turns and goes inside the radiator or something like that. So there is a big risk.
Yeah, well, just don't cut. That's it. Sort it.
Very succinct way of putting it. That's what it looks like. Just 15 points the lead that Loeb has over Heerven, and now after the dramatic retirement of both Loeb and Ogier in Australia, and Heervenen's win from teammate Jari-Matti Latvala. Good to see Petter Solberg back on the podium last time out. However, Citroën Total still looking fairly solid at the top, although of course Ford Abu Dhabi much closer. M Sport Stobart, after great result from Matthew Wilson last time out, also continuing to rack up some solid points. So Thursday evening from the Ilrich town to Strasbourg, and lots of autographs to be signed. Funnily enough, lots of people wanting to get this man's autograph, perhaps more than anyone else. Block ever popular, Danny Sordo looking forward to being on tarmac. Chris Meek in to get started, and of course Petter Solberg, always a fan's favourite. Reception for the 7-time world champion, keen to try and get closer to title number 8, but his teammate is going to be pushing hard, as of course with the 4 drivers, Solberg and the Minis. So what does day 1 hold? Well, it's going to be a total of 8 stages, and it's of course 4 stages repeated, 148k, with the longest being the Pré Dormont stage, 36 k's. So the fuss continues, as of course Loeb keen to get on with his day's work.
Have to stay concentrated.
Yeah, how do you do it though?
Try. What can I do?
Well, fantastic calmness always by Sebastian Loeb. Cleverne and Ungersberg, the start of the day. Some concerns over perhaps some damp patches under the trees, but it was Sebastian Loeb who charged into the stage, taking 2 spares on board just in case after the dramas that effectively halted his rally in Germany. Very similar feel to it, of course, going through the vineyards here on this Cleverne stage. And there's the sunshine starts to break through in the morning. Incredibly warm across Europe generally, certainly in the UK with temperatures of 27 degrees, so similar sort of feel to it in France. And of course Loeb, as you'd expect, setting some very, very strong times from the beginning.
Et droite 130 plus court, vraiment pas corps de tape, et frein 70 mètres, droite 60 long tard. Et gauche 100 plus, vraiment pas corde. On le tard dans 60. 150 mètres, gauche 60 plus, pas corde. Moins 1.
So a time of 5:41.7 on the opening stage, and then 9:07.1. We'll see where that puts him in just a moment. Hirvonen now in the very, very dramatic looking matte black livery, as voted for by, or as campaigned for by fans on the forums and websites, and Ford obliging their commercial partners getting involved too. Hirvonen's more concerned with what he can do with the car than what it looks like after a very successful test where they found a much stiffer setup for the Fiesta. Seemed to be favoured by both Hirvonen and Latvala. So Hirvonen was to come through at the end of stage 1 with 6th fastest time. On stage 2 though, comes through with the 5th fastest time, sits there now 6th overall. Well, Ogier, we know how competed on the Rallye des Vosges recently, took a fairly conclusive victory on that. Had an off last year, as we saw in the opening sequence, and of course absolutely determined to prove that he can match Loeb on tyre. He felt that he could do that in Germany, was very disgruntled, and we saw in his body language that clearly came across. He goes on to take the 3rd fastest time on the opening stage. Jari-Matti Latvala impressed us with his pace on tarmac so far this season, been very strong. Horrible time he had in Germany, of course, with punches and misfires aplenty, but very quick. And Jari-Matti was to take the 2nd fastest time on the opening stage. What's he going to do on stage 2 though? See why Jari, amongst others, compares this to Germany, of course, just over the border in the same sort of vineyard region as where the area where German rally takes place. For Jari-Matti, 6th fastest on stage 2, sits there now 3rd. Peter Solberg, we know, likes this stages. Did very well last year, getting on the podium, was right amongst the fight for victory at various points in the rally. Taking the 4th fastest time on the opening stage. Through with 4th fastest on stage 2, sits there now 4th overall, just 0.1 behind Jari-Matti. Great to see Mads Osberg back in WRC after missing Australia for budget reasons, of course. A very, very significant commitment financially to get down there. 5th fastest on the opening stage. Comes through with the 9th fastest time, drops down to 8th, some 3.3 away from 7th position, which is Chris Meek at this stage now. His teammate Danny Sordo runner-up here last year behind the mercurial Mr. Loeb. We've seen the pace, of course, of the Mini in Germany, taking a tremendous debut podium. And we know how fast Danny can be on tarmac, taking 11 runner-up spots to Sebastian Loeb on this surface during his Citroën career. Only a short amount of testing for Mini, rather. Half a day each for Loeb, for Meek and Sordo, rather. It is a fantastic start for Danny Sordo, 7th on the opening stage, and then 2nd fastest on stage 2. He sits now 5th in the rally. And it was Loeb who took the opening stage win, and 2nd on stage 2, with Ogier winning stage 2. And that's the difference, just 0.1 of a second between the Sebastians at the top. Lavalov still very much in it, as of course are the other of the top drivers, Danny Sordo, putting in a strong performance. And look, Araujo rounding out the top 10. So the opening 2 stages, unsurprisingly, being all about Citroën. Ford's still very much in it, as is Peter Solberg. See you in just a couple of moments for more action. Well, last year we saw world touring car champion Ivan Müller being part of it. He's not quite factoring at the moment, but he is going to be part of the rally, and it's going to be great to see the Frenchman enjoying the rally once again.
I'm a circuit driver here. The rally is not my specialty at all. I do more or less one rally per year. So it's just to have fun and to enjoy to drive on this nice road with ahead of the nice public.
What about the street stage in Mulhouse?
That's home for me, because I live very near from there. It's a nice stage, but you know, in the city there is not much to gain. There is a lot to lose. Yeah, it was nice. It was. I think, and I hope to be there on Saturday to enjoy to drive in Mulhouse.
And despite the fuel problems last year, were you happy with your overall performance?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the condition was very tricky. All the drivers told me so. It was one of the hardest rally they did in their career. So, in general, with all the aspects of the last year event, I can be pleased with my performance, and I really enjoyed it to drive this WRC car. There is one driver I am looking closely, is Sebastian Loeb, of course, but I don't compare my lap time at all with him. First, because I don't have the same car, I have a CES 2000, but even with the same car, I have not the level of Sebastian. Each driver has his own speciality, and rally is not mine.
So for you, what's the plan for the weekend?
Just to have fun, show my partners, and finish the rally.
Well, going to be interesting to see how Ivan progresses as we go into the longest stage of the day, the Péton one, and the Salm stage to finish off the morning loop as the sun starts to get stronger in the sky. We've seen some drama on long stages, Baumholder being a good example recently on tar. Completely changed the face of the rally for Sebastian Loeb. 2 very dramatic rallies in Australia with his multiple roll putting him out, and of course with the puncher costing him over a minute. Loeb sets off with some degree of commitment, as you'd expect. Similarly for Mikko Kievanen. 6 for Hervinen at the end of stage 2 overall. Determined to try and get himself closer to the fight. A really interesting, undulating, lots of drama here in 2010 through this stage. We heard the crews talking about weather conditions not affecting us at the moment. Sensitive speed through here. Oh, big problems for Mikko Kievanen. clatters into the ditch, bounces out fortunately. The left front appears to have taken some damage by the way that Mikko's manhandling the car. From a difficult start to a very difficult start for Yeveren. Ogier, well, as the battle is well and truly on just 0.1 behind Sébastien Loeb going into this stage.
250 mètres. 250 mètres derrière. Gauche 140 à fond, encore 250 mètres. Gauche 150.
It's looking very good for Ogier at the early part of the stage. He's really on a mission.
Droite 140 à fond. 100 mètres droitier. Et 100 mètres droitier au panneau.
Jari-Matti Latvala at the end of the second stage. So in sitting, having dropped behind Ogier to third. Like his teammate Mikko Hievinen, determined to try and clamber a little bit closer to the front.
Oikein 3 miinus kiekkaa. Jatkuu oikein 2. Jatkuu vasen 3 älä tolppa. Saattaa vasen 3 älä tolppa. 30 oikein 2.
So splits looking solid for Jari-Matti at the early stage of that part of the stage, going into stage 3 that we're running on board still through the long Pays d'Aumont stage.
Pas contre sur le frein pour 60 mètres gauche 120 moins long.
On va les tomber, ouais.
Hein? Les tomber, c'est bon.
Tempé moteur, c'est bon ou pas?
Ouais, ouais.
Allez, radio, alarme préhuile, qu'est-ce qu'on fait?
Okay.
For my limited French, the problem with the motor, the engine, that means of course, surely not for Sébastien Loeb. Some kind of technical issue with the factory DS3 WRC car, costing the Frenchman time, costing him to slow down. Look, he seems to be jabbing at the throttle to try and get some sort of response. And the car has stopped, surely not. Loeb looks to be out. Effectively, his third rally on the trot that he's had significant problems, and the second time on tarmac for him. Amazing stuff for Sébastien Loeb on his home rally. Well, clearly some sort of a problem with Jeveren's car after that off. Vibration, I think, a problem for him.
Mikko, I heard Jarmo just saying that you'd been off the road, but I think the biggest surprise is you're here first.
Yeah, but for all the rallies, now it was not time to make a mistake. Even though Sebastian is off now, I really need all the points I can get. So, but just went off like a few kilometers from the start, and didn't get a puncture or anything. But there was so much mud in the wheel or somewhere. The whole car is vibrating so much that I can't see outside, and the whole car is jumping. It was very difficult to drive.
There was a turnout that the wheel had been pushed back off the rim as Loeb seems to be ruining the fact that this is it for him. The tricolour proudly displayed on the roof of the Frenchest of French teams, of course. And it means that, again, Sébastien Ogier looks to be inheriting a lead from his teammate early in the rally. Stage 4 in Australia, it's stage 3 in France.
150 mètres. Droite 150 pour gauche 150 rasé. Sur droite 146, pas corps de frein. Ligne gauche 120 vite. 50 mètres.
And that's what it looks like compared to Mikko Kievenen's time after his problem.
Pour droite 120 moins corde. Droite 120 moins corde, 30 mètres gauche 110.
Kieveinen lost almost 50 seconds, I think, with that off. That's the difference, it is.
You're asking, I think, about Loeb. We're hearing it's a mechanical problem. Did you see him?
No, I didn't see him, so I thought that he had a puncture, but and he restarted because when I had the message he was stopped, and then I never saw him, so I thought that. But
this is your big chance to be a Frenchman to win Rally France again.
Yeah, it's a chance, but it's just the start of the rally, so a lot of work to do.
Well, you wonder what the real emotion is in that car. I would imagine Sébastien Ogier is absolutely delighted the news that his teammate is out of the rally. And it hands everyone else a great opportunity to capitalise on the world champion's misfortune, including this man. His teammates had a drama, of course, already. Heard the drivers talking about the post that's stopping everybody taking cuts everywhere. The sun glistens through the trees, making visibility a bit more of a problem. He does have a wonderful flow to it this stage. Oh no, for Jari Matti off! Just carries too much speed in. He went for the softer tyres. I wonder if maybe there've been some dramas. Well and truly stuck here. Does get the Fiesta back on the road. 1 minute 22 was the loss. Drops him right down to 9th.
Jari, we're hearing you were off the road in that stage, is that correct?
Yes, it's correct. We are on the soft tire and well, it was difficult to drive. Honestly, it was a bit difficult to drive. So one of the like a right-left combination, I lost the rear completely on the left and I just tried to brake. So we went wide and to the grass, but we got stuck. So luckily people came and we pushed it, so we got it back. But that's where we lost the time.
Yeah, I know. But
Where is the car?
just we broke the engine. We had an alarm, oil pressure low, and so we called on the radio, what can we do? And at this time I cut the boost and I felt the engine has no power and started to make some noise, so I stopped.
Globe Events, it says on the side, well, this is an event that surely couldn't have envisaged. Well, it was the last time we saw a major technical failure for a Citroën, and this, of course, Citroën Racing very much building their own engines, a purpose-built engine, as opposed to the Fiesta engine, of course, which is a modified version of an established unit that they used before. So Peter Solberg, of course, it hands him a great opportunity as well. Into stage 3, Solberg comes through second fastest. Well, the pace of the Minis is unquestionably strong on tarmac, and this man especially. After that spectacular second fastest time on stage 2. Stage 3 saw him set a third fastest time. Then stage 4 was to be another second fastest time. Sordo was to just be 1.6 off of second place. That is Peter Solberg. Well, for Dungannon man Chris Meek, showed some fantastic pace in Germany. First time on this rally. Might be being tapped up by Ivan Muller for some advice on driving a 206S 2000 car, the former IRC champion, of course. Nagel calling the notes. Stage 3 was 4th fastest, sitting there 4th overall.
And 3 right slippy, start 50, turn to right minus slippy, don't go wide.
The fastest on stage 4 sits some 21.4 seconds away from his teammate in 4th overall. Osberg was in the points last year, so adapting very well. Of course, we know his favoured surface being snow, then gravel and then tarmac, but nevertheless looking strong. Had a couple of massive moments in Germany, of course. Last time we saw him in action in WRC. Into stage 3. Sitting there in 8th position at the end of stage 3, though. It was up to 6th. Stage 4, saw him still sitting there in a solid position. 5th in the end. A win for Peter Solberg on stage 4, just 5 seconds away from Ogier now, pushing very hard. And it's Sordo and Chris Meek, though, once again impressing, and Hieverden doing his best to clamber back, as is Jari-Matti Latvala. We will have more action from this very dramatic Rally France. Loeb's car is loaded up. We will see you after the break. Take care.
Share all the excitement of the WRC with Total Quartz Lubricants.
Be sure to circle Friday, September 30th in your motor racing calendar, because Motors TV has a triple header of programming coming up. It all begins with Inside Racing at 9:10 p.m. with reports and interviews from the four corners of the motor racing world. That's followed by round 3 of the European Drift All-Star Series from Malta at 9:35. And then from 10:05 it will be the latest opposite lock action from the Finnish F Cup Rally Series at the Nesta Jari-Pekka Rally.
Motors TV is also on YouTube, an ever-expanding list of videos from all the classes covered on the high-speed television channel. Log on to youtube.com/Motors Television and don't forget to subscribe in order to be warned of any new content.
Very best of British motor racing comes to Motors TV this Saturday, October the 1st, with round 9 of the British F3 Championship from Rockingham, beginning at 5:25 p.m. And then from 6:15, Donington Park plays host to the next crop of open-wheel hopefuls with round 9 of this year's MSA Formula 4 Championship of Great Britain. Is just one of the many GT stars and veterans currently battling for top honours in the German-based ADAC GT Masters Series. And Motors TV will have all the close quarter competition from the latest weekend of action, with races 1 and 2 from round 8 of the season at Hockenheim. That's Tuesday, October the 4th, beginning at 9:15 in the evening. Brothers Thomas and Adrien Charrier continue their season-long inter-family battle for top honours in the FIM Supermoto Championship for the penultimate round of the season in Portimao, Italy. That's Thursday, October the 6th at 8:45. Then from 9:10, we head to County Kent and Brands Hatch for the 9th round of this year's Thundersport GP Series. Motors TV, the European two-wheel racing network of choice. Piercing and eye-watering action that is the FIA European Drag Racing Championship returned to Motors TV this Monday, October the 3rd, with round 5 of the season from the track of reference in Europe, Santa Pod, beginning at 7:55 in the evening. Championship leader Sohail Ayari and title rival Miguel Ramos will continue their two-driver duel for top honours in the 2011 International GT Open, where Motors TV heads to legendary Monza for the weekend of live GT competition. Race 1 from Monza comes your way Saturday, October the 1st at 2:55. Then on Sunday, October the 2nd, we have more live start-to-finish coverage of round 7 of the season, with all the action from race 2 from Monza beginning at 10:01 in the morning.
Make sure you don't miss any of your favourite programmes. Log on to motorstv.com and click the programmes section. Currently on air, next transmission's a full weekly schedule to download. You'll have no excuse to miss a show.
Share all the excitement of the WRC with Total Quartz Lubricants.
Welcome back to Motors TV's coverage of Rally France. The news, of course, is that Loeb and Elena are out as their crews go to service.
Well, Sebastian, what more do you know about your chances of getting back out this afternoon or the rest of the weekend?
This afternoon for sure, no. The rest of the weekend, if the engine is not damaged, why not? But I believe the engine is broken, so I don't believe that we start tomorrow. We'll see.
Sebastian, what an incredibly dramatic morning, but a good one for you. Talk us through it.
Yeah, many drivers had a problem, and especially my teammate had a big one because he had to stop. So it's not a good start for the team. For me, it's not so bad. I have no problem with the car this morning. I was not perfectly confident with the car, so I need to change a bit the setup this afternoon and try to continue like that.
A lot of drivers are having an adverse reaction to the poles on stage. Has it thrown you off at all?
Well, I try to follow my pace on driving on the road and not even if they're gone, I stay outside and just drive like I should do. But I'm sure next time now a lot of them will be gone, and then we maybe can go into the cut.
So Danny, you're in third place coming to the midway service. Would you call that a good morning?
Yeah, really great morning. The first stage was a little bit bad, but after was very good. The car is brilliant. Any problems? Really happy. So the stages also are really nice. But problem is when we arrived to some corners was really dirty after 9 cars in front. No, but I think second lap he will be better.
So the Cleverness stage, the second running through this 9.68k stage, the opening stage of the rally, of course, originally, and now the second pass through. We're going to see how much of a difference those poles perhaps being removed has made. As we heard from Peter Solberg saying it's possible maybe to take a cut in those places, but perhaps mindful of the huge amount of punches he received in Germany. I think 4 in one day for poor Peter Solberg. Maybe meaning that he's going to take a slightly more cautious approach. He's certainly looking quick, having won stage 4. This man knows Sébastien Ogier. We now charge into stage 5, and as I said, we're going to get a chance to ride on board with him for the majority of this stage. Loeb, of course, was quickest on this stage first thing in the morning with a 5:41.7. So let's ride on board with Sébastien Ogier through stage 5 of WRC France.
120 mètres. Léger gauchy, début de terre. 400 mètres. Attention, frein avant droite, 145 moins corps de poussière. Pont à gauche, 80 plus, pas corde. 250 mètres. De droite 130 vite, pleine corde cheval. Droite 130 vite, pleine corde cheval. 150 mètres. Gauche 140 à fond corde, sur droite 140 mi-corde. Droite 140 mi-corde, 70 mètres gros frein. Gauche 80 corde juste gravier. Gauche 80 corde juste gravier. 100 mètres. Attention, à droite 80, surtout pas corde après. Droite 80, surtout pas corde après. 200 mètres, moins 0,5 Irgo, gauche 140 à fond mini-trace, 50 mètres, gauche 130 très vite, corps de gravette.
You see just how similar these stages to the stages we saw not that long ago in Germany, of course, in the Rhineland region, and just the other side of the Rhine here. It's quite remarkable how much of a similar vibe it has.
130 plus mi-corde, 50 mètres, gauche 130, moins rasé, 130 moins rasé, 100 mètres, gauche 130 plus mi-corde, 50 mètres, droite 140, moins mi-corde de béton, et frein 60 mètres, droite 120, moins mi-corde de béton, 120 et 80 mètres, attention, léger de gauche, 156, gros frein, pour gauche 70, pas corde de poussière, 70, 100 mètres. Gauche droite 60 mètres, droite 140 moins, pleine corde de béton. De suite gros frein 50 mètres, droite 121, ferme 110 pas corde. 110 pas corde, 40 mètres à droite, 70 gravier tenir. 70 gravier tenir. 400 mètres, ôté, frein léger gris. À À droite 90 plus, surtout pas corps de gravier. À droite 90 plus, surtout pas corps de gravier. 100 mètres. Moins 2 Irvo. Frein avant droite 132. Pour à gauche 88. À gauche 88.
Just running behind Mikko Kievonen on the road.
Gauche 140 à fond corde.
Pretty apparent that the Frenchman was pushing very hard already up on Kievonen at the first split. And second split looking solid as well.
80 mètres. Gauchy. 150 mètres. Gauche 150 et 100 mètres. Gauche 150 à fond mini. 350 mètres arrière. Attention, gros frein gris pour léger sale. Épingle gauche 40. Mètres. Droite 120 plus million, pleine corde. 100 mètres. Gauche en 40 à fond mi-corde et 120 mètres. Gauche en 40 à fond mi-corde, 80 mètres, gros frein avant droite 145. Pour droite 80 plus rasé, léger sale. Droite 80 plus rasé. 80 mètres. Gauche en 40 à fond, pas corde. 100 mètres. À gauche 80 pas corde, à gauche 80 pas corde. Pour droite 90 plus corde.
Hugely impressive how much speed Ogier seems to be able to carry into these clearly very slippery corners at the end of the long straights in the Vineyard section with the loose gravel obviously on a harder Michelin Pilot tyre. There's obviously been so many dramas with punches in the German round not that long ago where this tyre was used for the first time. Michelin having played their joker as it were and changed the construction, but so far seeming to be pretty solid as Ogier makes the best use of the tyres, continues to set solid times throughout the stage. Comes to the end and wins stage 5. Extends his lead to 7.7 seconds.
Sebastian, just as you were coming to the finish, we could see the roof vent is missing. What happened?
What is missing?
The roof vent.
Ah, that was the noise. I don't know. There was a strange noise during the stage. I don't know why.
You hit nothing? You went through nothing?
No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay.
How was the stage then?
Yeah, okay. It's not my favorite one. It's a bit dirty, and I didn't push so much. I will try after.
Not bad for someone who's not pushing so much. That's the lead, 7.7 Sordo. Still very much in there, just 1.2 behind Petter Solberg, and Meek still putting on a solid performance as Kievonen and Lappala try to continue their recovery. And Ken Block has moved into the points in the Monster Energy Drink car. Rungersberg, the second running through the 15.45k stage. Kievonen determined to try and claw something back on stage 5. He'd come through 5th fastest, now 5.9 seconds behind Mats Osberg. That's got to be surely his immediate challenge.
Oikein nopea tiukka. Ja vasen täys. Oikein täys ylinyppy sisältä. Vasen täys 120. Oikein nopea ja tolppa.
And he achieves that. 5th fastest, now moves ahead of Osberg by 1.2 seconds at the end of stage 6. Ogier comes into this rally 29 points behind Sebastian Loeb. So with a perfect rally, with a win and a win on the power stage, of course he could take 28 points. And how interesting would that be going to the rally in Spain and then GB where he seems to have just rolled out of every rally he's been in so far there. But here, going very strong. Maybe a little bit cautious, time looking not as solid as it was on 5. Lappala pushing so hard, he's trying his best to get back on terms on stage 5. He was second quickest, just 2.1 behind Ogier. Most importantly was 0.9 quicker than his teammate to try and close that gap. Now sitting there, 7th overall, 14.1 behind Mads Østberg. Well, for Peter Solberg, it's been an absolutely brilliant start as far as he's concerned, consistently amongst the top 3. One win on stage 4, of course, stage 5. 4th fastest for Petter, 7.7 behind Ogier coming into this stage. Well, comes through with a time of 9:04.9, much closer to Ogier at the end of the stage. The other man that's flying hard is Danny Sordo, who's already set a couple of second fastest times. There's no doubt his confidence in the Mini is working so well. That's that target time of Petter Solberg. It's going to be very close. It's an identical time, so Sordo and Solberg share the stage win, and the first ever stage win for Mini in their WRC campaign in 2011. Stage 5 saw Chris Meek set the 9th fastest time. Can he do on 6?
Very narrow corner, 1 left minus pools, 60. Left over crest, 50, 2 right minus 50. Danger bad gravel ahead. Crest 2 left double tightens, keep in stiffy, don't cut it, and big stop.
Comes through, 6 fastest, just 0.1 of a second slower than Mika Kieverden. Now 28.3 seconds ahead of Meek. Sorry, ahead of Hervenen, and 30.8 behind his teammate Sordo. Well, into the points on stage 5 for Ken Block. Now, the waving is to tell us that Peter van Meerstein is off the road, the Dutchman who got into the points, of course, in Germany. He's okay. And that is clearly one hugely damaged Citroen DS3. And Van Meerstein Motorsport car having run around in about 15th position. Looks like the end of his day. So, Block brings it safely home to the end of stage 6. That's what it looks like. 5 seconds now, the lead that Ogier has over Solberg. Danny Sordo just 1.2 behind. A fantastic performance so far. And 37 seconds away from the lead is Chris Meek with Hervenen. Now up into 5th, ahead of Østberg with Japala closing down. And then the rest of the crew as they load up. Loeb's car, take it away.
Sebastian had an engine problem. He lost all pressure. Why? We don't know exactly. That will be done in our factories. But he drove too long with too low oil pressure. And so the engine is broken and we have to stop.
So a terminal problem for Sebastian. Big disaster for the team then.
Yes, exactly, because he was leading the rally. We had Ogier in second position, so everything was going well. And then this happens, of course, if you lose one of your cars that was in the lead. Then yes, we can call it a disaster. But now we have the other car still leading the rally, and so all our effort will go to try to win the rally with Sebastian Ogier.
Oh, interesting. It's a PH Sport Transporter, not the factory car, factory transporter. We'll find out what can happen between the top drivers in just a moment on Motors TV. So a rally full of high drama so far, with offs for Hervenen and Latvala, with Petter Solberg and Ogier in a real strong battle, and Danny Sordo right in the mix. Chris Meek doing a great job. But the big news, of course, is Sebastian Loeb's engine failure, putting the world champion out of his home event. Hervenen knows what a missed opportunity it may have been, with that mistake costing him 50 seconds on stage 3. Worked his way up into 5th, coming into the final 2 stages of the day. Oh, a bit of a moment for Mikko.
Oikein eli tiukka ylinyppy, kirraa vähän. Ja vasen eri sisältä. 7. Oikein hidas tolppa, kivi sisällä.
On stage 7, that moment costing him a bit of time.
Oikein hidas tiukka soraa. 2. Vasen jarru. Lyhyt oikein.
Wants to be 6th fastest on stage 7.
7. Huomio. Vasen jarru 2. Oikein tosi hidas sisältä.
And was to end the day with the 4th fastest time. Mikko Hirvonen, 6 now in 6th position. And that's because on stage 7, this man, Jari-Matti Latvala, put in a really strong performance to take 2nd fastest time. Move ahead of Hirvonen by 4.2 seconds and then push hard to the end of the day.
Oikein 2 kirraa 6 äkkiä. 60 korjattu asfaltti alkaa. Oikein 4. Heti vasen 2 yli nypyn kirraa 3 yli nypyn pitkä. 20 vasen 2 sumppu. 50 jarru oikein 6 älä tolppa. Heti vasen 3.
And that wonderful sense of speed for Jari-Matti Latvala though was to come through with another 2nd fastest stage time on stage 8. Now sits there in 5th position, some 19.2 behind Chris Meek and 6.9 ahead of Mikko Hirvonen, a total of 113.7 off the lead.
And takeaway plus into left in OK.
And for Meek on stage 7, had a really good solid run again, 5th fastest time.
Tightens into 4 minus over crest, don't cut it.
Still only just over 40 seconds away from the lead at the end of stage 7 into the final stage here on 8.
Watch this go down there only. 50, 4 plus, pole. Don't go in there, don't go in there.
Oh, but a bit of a drama for Chris Meek. The spin must have cost him about 15 seconds. Come through at the end with the 7th fastest time.
By left cross, don't cut. And 6 right opens, 100. 6 left minus.
Meek was to end a very impressive day 1. 4th overall. 54 seconds off the lead. 51 seconds away from 3rd place. So Ogier not looking as strong as you might have expected with all the efforts of the Citroën Total World Rally team behind him now. Remember at the end of stage 6 he came into the stage with just a 5-second lead over Petter Solberg. And then incredibly Petter Solberg winning stage 7 was to take the lead of the rally by 2.6 seconds. Finishes stage 8, 3rd fastest.
Was 5 seconds coming in. At the last split we have, you're 5.4 slower than Petter.
Yeah, I don't know. Something is wrong on the car. It must something wrong because I drive not so bad and it's impossible to be fast. So I don't know. I had a very bad feeling with my engine.
With the engine or the handling?
I don't know.
Well, that could be incredible for Citroën, couldn't it? Their factory cars perhaps potentially having the same problem. And that could bode well for Ford, of course, if Hirvonen and Latvala continue their progress. And even better for this man, Petter Solberg, rally leader at the end of stage 7. And what a great feeling for Petter Solberg World Rally team. Second stage win of the rally.
6 left, half long to crest, opens long, 45 left, left like 4 minus half long, like 3 plus. And lead.
Yeah, at the end of it, let's see what the difference is.
120. 6 out plus 100. 6 left, long. Tight to it.
So 0.8 slower. Difference between Solberg and Ogier, 1.8 seconds. And Nani Sordo charges into the final 2 stages of the day. Into stage 7, Nani Sordo was 3rd fastest, sat there some 0.4 away from Ogier. Just 3 seconds off the lead. Now what can he do against Peter Solberg, the rally leader at the end of stage 7. But what he could do is win the stage by an incredible time and takes the lead of the rally. Mini lead in France at the end of day 1 by just 1 second. With 2.8 seconds behind is Sebastian Ogier and Chris Meek. A solid performance. Latvanen Herveden fighting hard over 5th and 6th. Araujo, a great performance up to 7th as they head back to service. What a remarkable story.
We thought to be close after Germany, but not that close, no? So all the mini team, we are really happy, but still 2 days more for the rally, so we need to stay concentrated and to try to continue like that.
It hasn't been any crazy driving at all. Also a little bit time on the gravel now, but because of the punctures in Germany, I backed off on the gravel and I lost a lot of time. But I'm 1 second behind the lead or something like that. So for me, it's been an absolutely excellent day to be back on the top again. And with the improvement we have got with the car before the rally, and you can see how important the small details are when you're fighting in the top. So very pleased.
Okay, Sebastian, you're not the rally leader at the end of the day, but talk us through your day. It's not a bad one after all.
Yeah, it's not so bad. We are here at the end of the day. There was some tricky place today and we avoided it. It's not a bad day, but this afternoon we had I don't know, a strange feeling of the car. It seems that the car had not the performance usual, and it was difficult to make good time this afternoon.
Well, a pretty crazy rally. Interesting Ogier's comments and a very calm and confident Peter Solberg. Day 2 is going to see 9 stages, 148 Ks, and the weather continues. It could be a great position for Danny Sordo and Mini. An exciting day 1. I'm sure the action will be just as good on day 2. We won't see Sebastian Loeb. Thanks for joining us. See you soon.